When I went to prison, our nation confined about 30,000 people in federal prison, somewhere between 30 and mid 30,000 people in federal prison. And during the 26 years that I served, that population level grew to more than 200,000 people. What do you think happened? Do you think Americans all of a sudden became so evil that we needed to lock people up at a scale of more than 5, 6x? No, that's not what happened. It's that there's this entire ecosystem built around the criminal justice system that has resulted in longer sentences, in more people serving sentences that are far longer than they need to be. And it's created this perpetual cycle of intergenerational cycles of failure, where the longer we expose people to corrections, the less likely those people are to function as law-abiding, contributing citizens. So I'm Michael Santos. I was arrested in 1987 when I was 23 years old, and I served 26 years in federal prison. Do you know what made the difference? Is that I had people who believed in me, mentors who guided me, people who showed me that I could learn to think differently. And if I learned to think differently, I could start positioning myself for better outcomes. In my case, the first mentor was Socrates, somebody who lived more than 2,500 years ago. And he helped me start to believe it's not about what's happening to me. It's about the community and what can I do to be a part of the community? What can I do to atone and reconcile with society? That meant I had to stop thinking about my own challenges and start thinking about people like you, just other citizens who don't break the law, of people who do abide by the rules and make good things happen and invest their time to build a better society. What, if anything, could I do to earn trust from those people? Well, I had to begin thinking about a path of what you would want. And in my view, that path included thinking people would want me to educate myself. If I work to educate myself, that would demonstrate I don't want to be a criminal. And you really can't fake getting an education. 2, I would have to contribute to society in some kind of meaningful, measurable way while I served my sentence. And I had to figure out, well, how am I going to do that? And then I had to build a strong support system. If I could build a strong support system of people who believed in me, it might make it easier for their friends to believe in me. And I could build like this flywheel effect where the harder I worked, it might be difficult to get off the ground, but if I worked really hard, other people would believe in me. And that strategy carried me through 9,500 days in prison. It allowed me to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, become a published author, earn money while I was in prison, come home, get married to the love of my life while I was in prison, build products and services while I was in prison that contributed to society, get out of prison with, I think I had like $100,000 in the bank when I walked out of prison. Why? Because of the adjustment strategy that I made while I was in prison. Because I listened to the words of our former President Reagan, who said the 9 words that no American wants to hear. I'm with the government and I'm here to help. I knew it was my job to change my life, not the government's job, right? Nobody in the prison system's fault that I was there. I was there because of the bad decisions that I made. And I had to change the script. I had to change the path so that I could come home strong with my dignity intact, with opportunity to build businesses that would generate millions of dollars in revenues and millions of dollars in profits, so that I could become a taxpayer and prepare for my life, even if the job market was not friendly to me. Now that I'm out, and I've been out since August the 12th, 2013, is when I finished my obligation to the Bureau of Prisons. Ever since I've come home, my passion and my ministry has been, I've got to help more people figure out how they can come home successfully. You know why? Because prisons obliterate hope. They don't teach people how to become successful. There's a message in every prison that suggests the best way to serve time is to forget about the world outside and to focus on your time inside. And that might be a message as long as you want to live in prison. But if you want to be successful, you've got to think. And somebody has got to deliver that message. And I feel a sense of responsibility to be one of the voices, that ambassador for change, just like Viktor Frankl was an ambassador for change for me, just like Frederick Douglass or Nelson Mandela or Socrates helped me to think differently. I've got to work to help more people think differently as well. And that's what prismprofessors.org is all about. But I know that it's very hard to get a movement started. It's going to take many years. It's already taken many years. I got out of prison in 2013 and started publishing and writing and creating programs and getting them into institutions and building relationships, right? But I'm changing an entrenched bureaucracy that is a very hard shift to move, where a lot of people, they don't even like what I do. They don't want to see people building pathways home. But I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for America. To make America better, we've got to think about the best possible outcome. And we've got to think about what can we do. So I would never ask anybody to do anything that I am not doing. And that's why I show this strategy here on prisonprofessors.org, our nonprofit, where I always make 3 promises. 1, I'll never lie to you. 2, I'll never ask anybody to do anything I didn't do. And 3, I'll never ask anybody to pay me a penny. Everything on this site is free, because everybody should be learning. Even if they go into prison wearing an orange jumpsuit, they should be learning and seeing examples of how do I get out with my dignity intact and with opportunities to prosper. And that's what we offer here, are these pathways that show how do you do it. We produce books that we could send into prisons, because many people are on lockdown or they're locked in solitary confinement, just like I was. They can't go to classrooms. We want to give them all kinds of information that will help them prepare for success. But we also need to collaborate with others. And in order to do that, we need to show the impact that we're making. And that's what this page does right here. If you just scroll through this, you're going to see, how do we work to inspire change? What are the things that I can do? Well, I can't control what goes on in a prison, but I can produce lessons every day that we could get into prisons. I can create masterclass lessons that show the lessons that I am learning by working with leaders. I can create Ask Me Anything lessons so that people can get the responses to their questions that will help them make better decisions going forward. I can develop relationships with defense attorneys, institutions. I can write more books. We could use social media. We could use LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, short form videos, long form videos. We could start publishing on X. All of this is going to help us measure traffic to our website, where we can hopefully build more profiles for students in prison who are documenting the ways that they're working. We can build more tribes in institutions all across the country. We can increase the visitor count to prisonprofessors.org, Prison Professors Talent, have people subscribe to our newsletters or publish on Substack. And we could show more people how they could start developing a profile that will advance them as candidates for earlier transitions to home confinement, furloughs, executive clemency, earlier termination of supervised release. We want to be a part of that movement, and we want your help. So if you find a way that you can become a part of our community, reach out to us. You can find us at prisonprofessors.org. I always make those 3 promises that I'm never going to lie, I'm never going to ask anybody to do anything I didn't do, and I'm never going to charge anybody a penny. This is a ministry for me to have an impact on the lives of millions of people and their family members and loved ones who are also enduring the struggle because of our nation's policies when it comes to incarceration. I believe we can do better. I'm going to work toward making things better, and I hope that you will see the impact that we're making by visiting our website, following us on social, and being a part of our community. My name is Michael Santos, and I believe in you. Thanks so much for being with us.